So the good news is we pretty much covered all of the sort of theoretical tricky bits. I guess I would say there's not really much sort of tricky that we need to look at that we haven't covered so far. Am I sharing this with you yet? Not yet. So let's share. But having said that, we do have a little bit to do. Let me see if I can get. This is a problem with Zoom. My page gets so overwhelmed with windows. But what I
Hmm?
d- yes, somebody's asked me a question. So labs, the old lab, this lab 8, I wanted to just show you that because we had a form that we had to do with lab 8. Do you remember this one? So hopefully you can see this on your screen. Can you see that on your
Hmm.
screen? Hello. So I am sharing this with you, right? And I'm recording. Yes. So you can see this on your screen. I just want to make a couple points about forms. Forms is, yes, hello, Donnell. Forms is like the last sort of bit of the sort of theoretical part of the course. Now, before, in this course, when it was in its old form, we used to continue on from here because there's actually quite a lot of stuff to do with the forms. And basically all you have to know is, can I build a form? And you see that with this code here. Now, all of this stuff that I'm showing you right now, we have looked at. So I'm just going to discuss a little bit what we've talked about before. I hope you remember this lab that we did. It was lab 8, I think. And we had these form that we had to make this form. We saw the forms tag starts there and it had an action clause in it. And what that did is it went and ran a launched. So it's an action that it launched using the get or the post, which one? Sorry, yeah, using the post. Um, it launched the PHP file called coffee processing. And what that does is it actually was if we looked inside the PHP file, which we can't because it's sitting on a server that was written by somebody else and sitting on that server for us. It's on the SIT server. So as a kind of a user out here, because we didn't do the full front and back end, we just did the front end, we can't actually see that file. But what happens is when we actually press the submit button, and we see an input here for the submit in that form that's inside the form, the submit, and you know what that looks like on the form itself. Was that a different? Why can't I see the form? Um, where is that form? I get. Is it in? Yeah, yeah. Here it is. So it's actually in the Bing or whatever. Yeah, is that Bing? Yeah. So the submit is this order now. So what happens is you put in a bunch of data which come from different inputs. So for example, up the top here, we've got this select option, and then here we've got this radio, and then here we got this checkbox. Then here we have these input text, and we can put a bunch of text in there. Now we had some special ones in the input too, also because uh, we had this email. That's a special kind of input, and we have this date one, and so we can choose a date, and then we have a text area, and what happens when we press the submit, all of this data that's been gathered in all these fields in the form, all that data is assigned to, well, it has a name. Each one of these has a name. They will be assigned to a variable, which is then, and that happens in the PHP, which then is used by the PHP usually to insert that data into an SQL table. Usually, that's usually what would happen. Now, in this case, what we've got is we've got some um, I guess you'd say this is showing it back on the screen, basically the contents of these variables. So we got these variables, a variable called beans, bean type, extras, etc. All of those variables were passed from that page to this page. This is a different page. This is a page on our server, and we can see that the contents of those variables are there. And so this would then be stored in a SQL table, or maybe in multiple tables. But I think all of this could go in one table. Now, why is that important? That's basically how the interactive internet works, or the interactive web, is we are interacting with our customers through our websites, all right? And so they can order things. All of those things are going to go through databases and be stored there, and going to action things behind on that. Now, that's not the only way we interact with our customers. Sorry, on the web. The other thing that we would do to interact through our web page would be some JavaScript. So in the JavaScript, we could change the look of the page, and uh, well, launch other pages as well. But the PHP is actually really good for launching another page and taking data and variables along with it. And so I just wanted to say those things. You don't really need to go beyond this bit in the form, and we've done that exercise. There will be another forms exercise later, but this is the one that we've done there. All right, now the other thing that you've got to do today, and because I'm doing this, I'm trying to get through this kind of quickly, is the other thing that you've got to do there, if you look on the website, you'll see there's a exercise there using WordPress. And I'm not going to demonstrate that to you today because I want you to go and just have a try it. Find WordPress.com. So navigate to the WordPress.com uh, uh, um, their website, and then look at the options there to create a new web page. Now you will see in those options that include some payment. So the idea with the payment is a plus version of it, I guess you would say, a version of using the WordPress where you have a more um, intuitive URL. So a URL that's a shorter name or something like that, a name which more matches what you want. The free version of it, they assign you a website name, and it will be sort of maybe not too beautiful. It'll have numbers in it and stuff like that, but that's okay. So go to WordPress. I recommend you use the free one. If you want to pay, okay, so they do web hosting. So you will be creating using WordPress. You'll be creating an actual website, and they're hosting it for you. So keep it simple. What the exercise there is to do is to take a page or a concept from your project, the project that you're doing now, and transfer that concept onto WordPress. And you shouldn't find that too hard. Okay, so I am trying to do this quite quickly. I'm going to answer some questions that we've got here, and mark the roll. Why is the due date for delivery today? You can have some extra time for that. Do not worry about that. I do understand that you got a lot of things going on. And the other thing is I haven't marked your tests yet. And so, yeah, you give me some time, I give you some time. There's no problem about that. You can have some extra time for delivery 3. I don't know about lab 9. Is that this one? Is this not lab 10 or something? Yes, you can have some extra time, no problem. So I am going to kind of keep this short. I'm not going to sort of go through that too much more. You don't have to do this forms thing. What you do have to do, because we've already done that. We've already done that. So you don't have a difficult lab to do. What you have to do is you have to take the concept from your web project and quickly go on to WordPress, follow the instructions. So this is just a matter of you following instructions without me showing you how to do it, right? You can show each other if you want, but without me showing you how to do it, it's really just a matter of, can you follow the instructions? It's really building a website for people who don't know how to build websites and don't care and don't want to know how to build websites. So it's really is that easy. All right, so that's the exercise that I have for you. There is an assignment, and that's been assigned to you, and you got your project, and so you got plenty of work to do. No need for me to give you any more. And yeah, so yeah, it's really just following the thing. To be honest, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm just looking at it now, but do be careful when you get here. You're going to choose. Do you want an org or whatever, or a com? Yeah, let me see if I can get an org. Um, so you have to choose a one of these, but you've got these ones that are going to cost you money. I kind of wouldn't choose one of them, right? I would choose one of these free ones. But this is what I meant. When they give you the free one, it's kind of ugly. But hey, that's so there we go. That looks all right. I'll select that. And again, they're going to try and push you through to something that costs money, right? And so, yeah, step 2 of 2. If I miss, start with a free site. There we go. So, yeah, the big ones start with a free site, and boom, your site will be ready shortly. And then you're going to have some tools in there that sort of you're going to add stuff. I mean, that's how fast it is to sort of get going with it. So here you got my home, and just push the get started. So so you can see that it's under the wordpress.com home. That's my name. Yeah, okay. So get started. Name your site. I don't know, site title. Uh, update. Hold on. Continue. Right. So you get the idea, I hope. And there's the site address. We could try now. There's a tricky one there, right? Add a custom address. I'm pretty sure if I choose that, it's going to ask me for money. Yeah, okay. So so save it as you go, it looks like. Probably there's a save button at the bottom or something. So English, yeah, time zone, we're in the right one. Launch the site. So launch it. And okay, so I think that's going to save it. Type the domain. Did I not get the domain name? I thought I did. So I don't know. Seems like I'm going around in circles here. No, goodness gracious. I thought I did this, right? So obviously I pushed some wrong button at some point. Upgrade as you go. Don't want to upgrade. I want to take it now. Pay monthly. Don't want any of those. Wow, that's not looking how I was hoping, right? I'm kind of caught in a I guess it would be a next button or something, right? I hope you have better luck than I have. I haven't done this for a while. So don't want any of those. Pay monthly or pay any free domain for 1 year. Don't want any of that. Did I hit on, I think, you know what happened, folks? It was when I pressed that thing that said, yeah, right. You know where it was, right? I told you I'd run into trouble if I pressed that thing. So I actually have a domain, but it's when I said that I wanted to have a special name. Don't choose a special name. So this, let this be a sort of a warning to you. Yeah, so don't choose the special name. Kind of bad. There's my edit page. Welcome to your web page, blah, blah, and add or edit content. As I said, just go in there and sort of work your way through it. As you edit, you can preview your site, blah, 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 hidden until you're ready and get started. So now you can start putting stuff in it. All right. So I do have a web page. The mistake that I made that made me go around in circles was that I said that I wanted to have a different name. Yeah. So there's things here you can sort of you can work with. View the autosave. This is the autosave of this post. This is most recent. So yeah.
That's
Anyway,
it. Like you just copy the URL and just send it to you in a Word file.
yep.
That's it.
That's it. Yep. When you're done. So have a work with it. Sorry, I haven't done this for a long time, so I've been sort of stumbling around here. But as I said, sort of be very careful. Uh, yeah, we've got a draft thing here. So I think that's where you want to be in the draft. And then in the draft, try and find the tools that you can use to edit it. Can you edit that? Yeah, so you've got some tools there. Looks like I can edit that. So, just you're really just going to have to sort